What's up YouTube? Javi here at Javi's Boom Tech. And today, before we get started, I wanted to go ahead and dedicate this episode to Prince. As many of you probably know, we lost him today. Whether you're a fan or not, there's no denying the man was definitely a music icon. So my thoughts and prayers go out to all of his family and all of his friends during what has to be a very, very difficult time. But anyway, guys, the show must go on. And today we have the Braven XXL. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, guys, so here we have it. It is officially unboxed with the Braven XXL. Before we get into the speaker, let's go ahead and check out what it came with. You've got your usual instructions and manuals. There we go. Proprietary charging brick right here. Since it is a larger speaker, you definitely need that proprietary charger. And then they were also kind enough to include a few international plugs. And then they've also included a shoulder strap that clips on to these little ports right there, just in case you get tired of holding it with a handle. And let me tell you guys, you probably will. I carried it already for a little bit, and this thing does get pretty heavy and starts to wear out your arm. It's about 20 pounds, which is heavier than even the Iowa XS9. So it is not a light speaker. So I'm very happy to see that they included a shoulder strap. That way you can give your hand a break there. And that's it for the accessories, what comes in the box. The speaker is overall built really well. It's got a nice rubberized texture all over it. It does not feel cheap at all. It feels very, very solid. It's definitely built to withstand a drop as well as splashes. So if you're thinking about taking this to the pool, to the beach, you don't got to worry about it. It will be fine if you get splashed. You just don't want to submerge it. It is only IPX5 certified, so it is not completely waterproof. So definitely don't throw it in the pool. But if you splash it, you'll be fine. Looking around the speaker, on the front here, we've got two drivers, which Braven calls HD drivers. We've got two in the front, and they're all the way in the corners here, which is a nice touch here, because it's probably going to hopefully create a nice stereo separation. And then they've also made it a 360 sound on this device by putting two more on the rear. Same exact drivers, HD drivers, one on each side of the back. So definitely a nice touch. Definitely going to want to check out how that sounds and affects the overall sound of the speaker. And then up on top, like I said, it's got that nice handle, very durable, makes it a little bit easier to hold. And then on the bottom, we've got the powered subwoofer that's gonna create all that nice low end for us. And then on the edges of the speaker, you've got your rubberized feet there to keep the speaker in place. And then on the sides, we've got your branding here. Let I set it down. Like I said, guys, this thing is heavy. I'm already getting tired of holding it, but continuing on, we've got an NFC tag for all you Android users for easy pairing. Got the Braven logo. We've got the power button on. It's actually on right now, indicated by that glowing light. Then we got a play button right here, and then volume up, volume down. In addition to the volume, you can also control the bass and treble. Push it once, you go to treble, you can control it there. Push it again, and you select bass, and you can go up, down, whatever you desire. Big bass head, you're probably gonna want to go up. If you're not that much into bass or want it to be a little bit more under control, you can easily adjust it right there. So that is a nice touch. That's something we saw in the Big Blue Party that I really, really appreciate, because sometimes the bass is just too much. You just want to listen to music without all the thumping, and that right there is going to allow you to do it. Moving on to the other side, we've got more branding here, the Braven logo. We've got a battery indicator. So right now we have 2 of 4 lights. So it's about 50%. Speaking of battery, it is rated at about 14 hours. It has an enormous battery. It's 15,600 milliamp hours, which is probably one of the reasons why it's so heavy. So it is packing some serious power. I'm assuming that if you play it on max, you'll probably get half of that, which if you get 7 hours at max, that's still pretty impressive, especially with the power that this is advertising it is capable of. And if you lift up this flap here, we've got your ports, we've got your auxiliary in, your mic, if you want to use this as a PA system, your charge out, 5 volt, 1 amp out, your port for your proprietary charger, and a reset button. So that about does it on the speaker, guys. Some notable missing features for me, no speakerphone capabilities. It's not really a deal breaker. I don't really use that feature, but I know there's a lot of people out there that do. You're not gonna be getting that with the Braven XXL. And there is no way to connect a second unit to create a stereo sound, a bigger sound stage. So as of right now, there's no way that I see, at least, of doing that, and it's not listed as a feature for the speaker. One other little feature that I kind of like that they've done is they put this little rubber flap here, and it's got a little indent right here, and it's to set your phone right there. So sometimes you don't know where to put your phone if you don't want to carry it around and risk losing Bluetooth connection. You can just set it right there and you're good to go. So nice little touch right there. Like I said, this is not a small speaker. As you can clearly see, here's a JBL Xtreme. It's almost half the size in length, and weight-wise, it's probably a third of the weight of the Braven XXL. This thing is very heavy. In fact, it's so heavy that if you drop it on your foot, you'll probably be going to the doctors for an x-ray. It's that damn heavy. So if you have any hopes of throwing this easily into your backpack, good luck. You're definitely gonna need to use a handle or a shoulder strap or a large duffel bag. However, the trade-off is that it looks like you're gonna get much more powerful sound, and it's gonna be better suited for the outdoors than what the JBL Xtreme is capable of. But we will definitely confirm that right now in our sound test, guys. So without any further ado, let's take out the JBL Xtreme and the Braven XXL and see what they sound like. All right, guys, so here we have the JBL Xtreme, and over here on my right we have the Braven XXL, and we are paired and ready to go. So I'm gonna just go ahead and play a couple songs here and just go back and forth between the two units and see if we can get a difference in sound between the JBL Xtreme and the Braven XXL. All right, guys, so I'm gonna start them off at 75%, and I'm gonna go ahead and start with the Braven XXL first. I'm gonna back up about 10 feet or so. Here we go. Switch over to the Xtreme. Go to max. Let's play. Back to the Braven. Go to max. Back to the Xtreme. Back over to the Braven. Now this is from behind. This is where the two speakers in the rear really come into play. Back to the Xtreme. Big difference. No speakers on the rear on the Xtreme here. Go back to the front. I'm gonna back up a little bit here. So I'm about 20 feet or so back, and we're still on the JBL Xtreme at max. Go back over to the Braven. Carries very nicely. Bass is definitely deeper and further reaching than on the Xtreme. Back to the Xtreme. Try another song here. Let's test out Bluetooth range. I'm just gonna back up as far as I can. The kids slip and slide there. So I'm pretty far back here, about 35, almost 40 feet back. JBL Xtreme still sounds really good. Let's switch over to the Braven, see what the difference is. Bluetooth connection, very good on both still. Loudness wise, it's not as big a difference as I thought it'd be, but that low end definitely carries, definitely punchier and deeper than on the Xtreme. Let's check it out. Back to the Xtreme. Yeah, bass is not as far reaching or as deep as on the Braven. Let's go back to the Braven. Get a little closer. About 10 feet away. Go back to the Xtreme for a second.
Turn it up in the hot box. Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up on the bass. Turn it up in the hot box. Turn it up in the hot box.
Back to the Braven. Xtreme. Still at max. And one more time back to the Braven.
Roll up with the windows up, I'm still sipping whiskey from the solo cup. She down for whatever, cause she know what's up. I'm like, roll another one, she said, oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, looking out for the rollers. Pass it to the left, I'm looking over my shoulders. Always had a chick, guess it's more so I boat her. I'm always too on, you'll never see me sober. Yeah, from the bay to the universe. I'll race you to $1 million, but I do it first. Rap money stacking lots.
Back to the Xtreme from the rear. Big difference with that 360 sound for sure. back to the Braven. All right, guys. So yeah, definitely have to give it to the Braven XXL. Max volume, carries nicely, nice deep rich bass, and even the vocals sounded a bit better on the Braven XXL. At 75%, I didn't notice much of a difference. The Braven XXL really kicks it into gear the higher you go. Definitely got some impressive bass. But anyway, guys, let's head back inside. All right, guys, so there you have it, the outdoor speaker test with the Braven XXL up against the JBL Xtreme. And I gotta say, I was definitely impressed with the Braven XXL. The Braven XXL came to play. Not only does it produce some deep, rich bass, but also produces some nice, clear highs to give it a really nice overall sound. A nice punchy bass, and just a lot of clarity in the sound that really travels through the backyard. At the lower volumes, at about 75% up against the JBL Xtreme, the difference wasn't as noticeable. You can tell that the Braven XXL did have a little bit more power, but it wasn't overwhelming the JBL Xtreme. That didn't start to happen until I cranked it up to max. At max, you could definitely feel and hear the power of the Braven XXL, definitely outshining and outperforming the JBL Xtreme at max. That being said, you are paying about $50 to $100 more for the Braven XL, in addition to the added heft and size. That thing is definitely not a light speaker. It's bordering on 20 pounds and it's quite a long unit, so it's nowhere near as portable as the JBL Xtreme. However, with that nice handle and the added shoulder strap, they do help you make it a little bit easier to transport if you are taking it to the beach or park or whatnot. And speaking of which, because it is rugged and weatherized, you're not gonna have any issues bringing it to beach places like the beach or the pool. You're not gonna be worried about it because it is splash resistant and can definitely take a fall. One thing that I was thinking throughout the whole speaker test was that this speaker would definitely be a good comparison up against the newly released speaker by Monster, the Monster Blaster. They look quite similar and they seem to have similar speaker configuration and similar specs. The Monster Blaster is about $50 more. I have reached out to Monster a few times in the hopes of getting a review unit sent to me. However, I have yet to hear back from them. So Monster, if you're watching, the Braven XXL is calling out the Monster Blaster. We'll find out and see if you accept the challenge. But anyway, guys, that wraps it up tonight. Before I go, I did want to mention that I have started a new channel. If you guys caught my episode a couple weeks back, you'll remember that I purchased the DJI Phantom 3, and since then I've just completely fallen in love with flying it and recording the amazing footage that it's capable of recording. So I went ahead and started a new channel called Javi's Drone Life. I'll go ahead and link it down in the description, so be sure to check that out. And then also on the next upcoming video, I'm gonna be taking the Braven XXL and pairing it up against the Iowa Exos 9. Trust me guys, you're not gonna wanna miss that. It's gonna be good. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoy the rest of your week and I will see you next time. Thanks, bye.